Hey friends, it's Bridget. Thanks for being here. I got a positive response in my first Hobonichi 2024 unboxing video, so if you missed that, I will leave it linked in the description box below. But I got a positive response in that video from showing the texture of some of the covers that I ordered up close, so I'm going to do my best to repeat that in this video. And instead of filming this as a true unboxing, I'm going to be sharing it rather as a haul. I wanted to just honestly take my time for the actual unboxing and just be able to go through all these beautiful books by myself. So I've already done the unboxing, and then this is just going to be kind of a haul. But I did grab some additional Hobonichi Weeks that I had not purchased in my first order. The first two that I'm going to be showing are Weeks Mega, and I don't know if it has the, yes, it does have the color name on the tag. So this first one is the Lavender that has the traditional normal Weeks cover. It's thicker than paper, yet still somewhat flexible, and it's just like a flat fabric cover, but hopefully you can see the texture there. And instead of foiling, this has like a dark gray or maybe even black 2024 pressed onto the front cover. There's nothing pressed onto the spine. This layout is identical to the normal or regular Hobonichi Weeks, but the main difference between the regular Weeks and the Mega is the number of memo pages that you get in the back of the book. So in a regular Weeks, you get 73 memo pages, which are blank grid pages in the back of the book. In the Mega, you get 217 memo pages. So the rest of the layout is identical, but you can see quite a difference in the thickness of the book because you're looking at 73 memo pages versus 217 memo pages. Now, I ordered two Megas in this order. I actually have, I think, duplicates of both. This was quite a large order. Call it an impulse buy. I wanted to see them in person to see if I would like to have any of these for my personal use, and then anything that I don't keep from this haul I will be offering to friends and then listing any leftovers for sale on my Instagram. I also wanted to look at the stylish gray, and it has that same textured fabric. Now this 2024 is more of a foil, and I had thought it was copper when I saw it online, but to me in real life it looks like a red foil. So it's kind of dark at one angle, and then when the light hits it, it does have a bit of red to it. And this is a Mega. Oh, it does have 2024 in the spine, but it's not filled with anything, so it's so faint. So I didn't notice that on the Lavender book. I'm assuming it's probably the same. Yep, so I was mistaken when I said there was nothing on the spine of the Lavender. It does have 2024 pressed in as well. It's just not as noticeable because it's just pressed in and not filled with any color, but it is there. So I do want to keep one Mega for 2024, and to be perfectly honest, I have not yet decided between the gray and lilac. I actually love them both. The lilac looks really nice with the Liberty fabric, and the gray looks really nice with the kind of vintage vibe from the Botanicals. Just kind of a neutral, and see, I'm kind of torn between two styles in general. I do quite a bit of different styles of journaling, and I'm equally attracted to a very minimalist, neutral, almost vintage vibe, as well as the complete polar opposite of the spectrum with just bright, colorful images, and these check both of those marks. So if you have an opinion, especially if you've followed my channel and have seen my style, do you think I would be happier with the lavender or the stylish gray? Let me know in the comments. I'm really torn with that decision and haven't quite made up my mind yet. Now, the Cats and Me Weeks is the bow and tie version. So it's a fabric that if you were to think of a bow tie or like dress tie, a men's tie, that's what this fabric is like. It's very soft, and I was amazed at the detail on the cats themselves when I opened the A5 Cats and Me HON that I showed in my first unboxing. So this is the sister book to the HON. It's in the Weeks format in the gold foil on the front and on the spine. So the 2024 on this spine is stamped in gold. In addition to the cats, you'll see occasional little balls of yarn on the cover. And this is a regular size Weeks, not the mega, but it pairs perfectly with the HON books. So, I mean, let's be real. I'd love to keep every one of these, but it's like, what am I going to do with 8 or 10 weeks? My goodness. Same with this week. So I bought the Botanical HON first, and then I was like, I really want to see what that Weeks looks like in person. And spoiler alert, it looks fantastic, just like the HON did. Crazy, right? So this is the 2024. You get the gold foil, or I'm sorry, now that I'm looking at it up close, it actually looks silver. So this is silver foiling for 2024. And it is on the bottom of the spine as well. But this is the botanical pattern that coordinates with the HON. And you will notice a slight difference in tone of the background color. So the theme is obviously similar, same inspiration. Tomataro Makino, forgive me if I mispronounce that. But you'll see that the HON has a slightly more creamy tone to the overall background, and then the Weeks is a little lighter. It has less yellow or cream and more of a super light beige, and it has that same texture that makes it look like almost a linen fabric. So very pretty, and that is the regular Weeks and not the mega as well. And I did get some extras in those. Let me put those to the side. And then I also grabbed some extras in the HONs that I had already purchased for my personal use because I was so happy with them. I wanted to be able to offer them to some friends if they were interested. I believe I grabbed clear covers this time for these books. I pulled one out of the box just to demonstrate, and of the 3 that I ordered, I'm still of the opinion that I will likely leave the Botanical and the Liberty fabrics uncovered, just so that I can appreciate that tactile feel of that cover. But the Cats and Me and that bow tie fabric is, I believe the most likely to absorb any type of potential stains because it is so soft and thick. So I did pull an A5 HON cover to cover this book for my personal use. So if you've not yet seen the clear cover on cover for the HON, it is a little more compact to fit this book compared to the regular A5 cover on cover. And then the inside is different. It just has the two panels because you're not having to cover the pockets and such like the other traditional covers. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this on while we're here, and you're going to kind of fold the cover back on itself and then feed it into the inner edge of each of these pockets. So that's about 1/2 inch to 1 inch, and then same on this side. And then once you have the edges evenly fed like so, you'll just press the cover toward the spine and simultaneously close the book. And that's the easiest way I have found to put these clear cover and covers on, not only for these books but for the other regular covers themselves. So this is completely clear and will protect the fabric of this A5 HON. Now I believe I also grabbed one extra of the Liberty Fabrics Weeks, which I showed in my first video. So I'm definitely keeping one of these for myself. This is the first time I've ordered a Liberty cover, and I just can't get over like the buttery softness of the fabric. And then these pencil boards of the botanical theme, I believe, coordinate perfectly with it. You get the kind of vintage, excuse me, floral illustrations on the front, and then the back of this week's pencil board being in that lilac coordinates perfectly with these little lilac details in the flowers. So I think I got some of those as well. And then the only A6 products that I purchased in this haul, initially I was thinking, well, I just want to see it in person, but I'll probably end up selling it because I haven't used an A6 in a while. But I feel like I've already succumbed, and I'm likely going to keep this. This is the A6, I believe it was called Highway cover, and this is part of their traditional, what they call the colors collection, where it's just a solid color exterior and then a solid color interior in that traditional polyester that we're used to for the majority of the covers. But what drew me to this was the combination of these neutral colors. They really speak to that aesthetic I mentioned earlier, that minimalist kind of analog vibe, nice neutral colors. And this brown really surprised me at how rich it looks. It's a nice warm brown, but it doesn't read orange to me at all. It's just like a nice rich brown. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this Japanese writing inside most of the plain covers, I think it translates to Happy Nothing Special Day. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments, but I remember that coming up in years past. And then you get the little Hobonichi tag. Now, many years ago, they used to actually put the year of the design inside the cover, but they got away from that practice within the past few years, which allowed them to carry over covers from year to year. So where now you may see a certain cover be available for 2 years in a row, that used to not be the case. It used to be one cover per year, or one design, you know, each design would be available for that year, which was imprinted into the cover. But I can see from a business standpoint, I'm sure this makes their inventory easier if they do have unsold covers one year to be able to re-offer them the next year. Now I grabbed a weekly supplement to go with this, and this is such a tiny but freaking cute version of the weekly layout that we see in the cousin. Let me grab a sip of coffee. My throat's dry. Excuse me just a second. Okay, thank you. So since the A6 planners and A6 Techos, this is the English planner collab with Arts and Sciences, so it does have a different format on the inside of the book than what we're used to. But one thing that the English planner as well as the A6 original Techo has in common is the layout in terms of categories. So you get like your year at a glance and your monthly section, but then the A6 goes directly into the dailies. So it's missing the weekly section that we get in the A5 cousin, and this weekly supplement was their answer for that. So I picked up one of the English planners and a supplement to go with this, and that polyester just feels really nice, and you can see it has a light sheen to it, and then you get the pocket on the back. So I'm gonna keep this one for sure. I grabbed a cover to protect it, and you can see the difference between a regular cover having this layout on the side as opposed to that straight pocket we just saw in the HON cover. What's nice about these is it has this kind of almost Ziploc type section along the back, which allows you to access that back pocket through the cover. So we'll go ahead and put it on as well. And I'm going to do the same thing where I just feed the corners of one side into the cover, bend the cover back on itself to feed in the opposite corners. And then just like before, I'm just going to press toward the spine and simultaneously close the book. And there she is. So you can access that back pocket here and then close it up when not in use. And what a lot of people will do that's very creative is take a piece of decorative either paper or acetate, which would be clear, and then what's that vellum, patterned vellum that's like somewhat transparent. So take one of those three materials for a backdrop and then add something personal to it that you would feed between the Hobonichi cover and the clear cover on cover to further personalize this book. So that could be stickers, postcards, any decorative elements, even photographs. So the possibilities are really endless in terms of how you can further customize a cover between the clear cover on cover and the Hobonichi cover itself. But really happy with this coverway for that highway cover. And then I got some A5 covers. Now this is the Liberty Fabrics A5 cover. So it is a different floral pattern than the Liberty HON and Weeks. It's a little more subdued, a little more pastel, and a friend of mine has claimed this one, so I will not be listing it for sale. I'm not going to take it out of the packaging, so that way she can do the true unboxing herself. But I'll give a close-up view of the pattern. And this is very similar to the feel of the polyester covers, but the difference is this fabric feels more like a soft buttery cotton, so it doesn't have the sheen that the polyester cover does, like that highway cover. So if I were to take this out of the plastic packaging and tilt it within the light, you would see no sheen whatsoever. It's just a flat kind of buttery cotton texture, just like the Weeks and the HON covers. But Hobonichi really knocked it out of the park in the 2024 lineup with this tone of green. It coordinates with so many other covers this year, and it's just really beautiful. So that one will be shipped out to one of my friends. And then this one is really so much prettier than I expected in real life. Where did that Weeks go? I want to compare it to the Lavender Weeks. It's a little lighter than that lavender. But still coordinates perfectly. And so any combination with that Liberty would be fantastic. So if you happen to be an A5 user and wanted to add a Weeks, either one of these would work really well. Or another combination, if you happen to be a multi-book user of all sizes, these two products with the Liberty A6 HON, which would be half the size of the A5, that would be a stunning combination as well. So part of me kind of wants to keep this cover because I live in Louisiana and purple and gold represent our LSU colorway, so I thought I could print an emblem of like an LSU tiger or LSU logo and put that between this and a clear cover on cover like I was talking about before to further customize it. And then this light kind of flat neutral beige on the inside would just coordinate with everything. So I halfway want to keep this, but there again, it's like, okay, what am I going to do with 8 or 10 A5 books in 2024? So I'm leaning toward listing this for sale. It's a beautiful choice, and if it doesn't sell, then it won't hurt my feelings, but I really don't need it, so what are you going to do? Same with this cover. I just wanted to see it in person, and wow, the contrast between this bright light turquoise and then this traditional black and white gingham is really nice. And this is a cloth like the traditional Hobonichi covers we're accustomed to, and this is like a bright pretty turquoise. It would also coordinate with Liberty because there's hints of that light bright turquoise in that background. It would coordinate with a lot of the covers this year. That new black paper with the A5 and A6 HON, and then the Weeks, that would be stunning with this cover. But I feel like I'm likely going to list this as well. And then the last one I have to show is the infamous Little Gifts. This was hugely popular this year, and for good reason. This is the A5, and it's available in A6 as well. Of course, they both keep selling out, but I haven't checked the website in some time. I imagine they'll likely restock again, but I do have some extras of this that I'll be listing. So hopefully, especially if you're in the US, that should save you on shipping, because I definitely won't be charging international shipping to get these out. This, I believe, has captured so many people's hearts because there's so many different designs on it. It's not like a repeating fabric over the whole area. It's like each design is strictly unique and different across the whole book. So I'm just going to try to scan over it quickly. The alligator is awesome. The little folk art flowers, little gnomes. So many animals. I freaking love the stamps, the cat stamp. Lots of cats, birds. But it's so bright and colorful, and I think I'm going to use this as my cover next year for my creative memory keeping journal, because that style of journaling, I love the little paint palette here. That style of journaling that I do is the brightest, like uses the most color, and so I thought this would be a fun cover for that. And it has a small portion of that design on the inner back pocket. There is a back pocket, and the back pocket has the same outer design, just continued. The artist name is included in the inner cover. And what I noticed about this inside fabric is it feels more like cotton than polyester. So I haven't checked the website. There is a place on the website where you can look at each fabric content and all of those details within the listing. But just by looks and feel alone, this feels like more of a cotton than a polyester, and there is no sheen to it. So it's just like a buttery soft, and you get this cute little insert with the cat. So I did grab a handful of these just kind of on impulse, and I'm going to keep one. So far, I think 2 friends of mine are going to claim one as well, but I think that should leave me at least a couple extras. So if you're interested in any of these extras, this does have that nice, if you can see it, faint sheen of the polyester. Just check my Instagram. I'm going to try to list anything that I'm not keeping or shipping to a friend within the next day or so. It's at papermademedoitig on Instagram. And I'm going to go ahead and get a clear cover on cover on this book now to go ahead and protect it. So I'm just going to feed those corners in. I'm going to go ahead and remove this silica gel. Okay, and then we're just going to press in toward the spine, close the book. And so this style of cover on cover accommodates for all of these little design features, the butterfly pin tabs, everything else. So this would accommodate a full-year cousin, a cousin avec, a plain or blank Hobonichi A5 notebook, as well as an A5 day free. Am I leaving anything out? Basically, any of the A5 books will go in this cover, as well as other brand A5 books. So a Midori A5 notebook would be nice in here. It's just a stunning little cover. But I believe that completes this order. So let me know if you have any questions or comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for being here. Bye, y'all.